Hey everybody, it is Tedley Tedlicious here, and we just watched the RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11 reunion special. This reunion was different than any reunion in the past, and the reason is because it didn't go in the order of the queens and how they got eliminated. It just went from drama story to drama story, from the and to the and, with a little bit of tutor boot here in at the and part, okay? And I didn't even know what I was watching this time, okay? I didn't know if I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race or if I was watching Tati Westbrook with all this drama, bitch. Well, to start with drama number one, the very first person they talked about was, of course, Miss Vangie, and then they got right into it with Brooklyn, and they're just like, are you two a couple or not? And to us gays and our gay intuition, it was very obvious what the tea was, is that Vangie was super into Brooklyn, and Brooklyn was super into being a polyamorous hoe. And so it just obviously was not going to work out between the two of them, even though Vangie was clearly super emotional and still super in love with Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's all like, oh, whatever, I look like the Lance Bass of gays. I don't need you. But so anyways, that's sadly how that drama ended. And it also ended with poor Miss Vangie. Bitch, don't you be the one going up to give her a hug. But yep, Vangie stood up and went to give Brooklyn a hug out of friendship. It's like, no, make that bitch do some work from how she played you on TV right now, honey. Yes, that was unfortunately the drama between Vangie and Brooklyn, and that is the end of their amazing, epic love romance storyline. Epically over, epically done. If they both don't win, they'll come back for All Stars and go against each other once again. Oh my goodness, and then of course the next drama they bring up was Rajah. And oh my goodness, if I was living this experience and I was Rajah, I would be so pissed. Because she comes to the show, I honestly feel like she probably just didn't have much of a personality, and so the only thing she had to present that they could see was a little bit of this whole bitchiness thing. And so then they just take, the only thing that she presented, which was this whole bitchy attitude, and then they just blew that up to be her whole personality. And so then she comes, then she's not welcome back to the little reunion episode during the show where they all come back except for a couple of them. And then she comes back to the reunion and the only thing they talk about is, oh, so you was a bitch. And it's just like, damn, I would feel so bad if I was Rajah in this situation. And I just feel bad for her, like this experience she's having. It just started with her being made out to be a bitch. She gets eliminated, doesn't get to come back for the special episode, and then she's just made out to be a bitch again for most of the reunion episode. I'm like, damn girl, damn. Oh, and so then after that, it kind of wrapped up into this thing with Plastique Tiara and Akira. And then Plastique, she kept it real, this whole time we were going around, listening to those two bitches saying Plastique's fake, this and that. But you know what's really messed up is that they called it and they showed all the clips, they had the receipts, they showed it all. They showed that Akira pretty much instigated all that shit, and then she was just like, no I didn't, no I didn't. It's like, bitch you did. And so then that was definitely a whole bunch of shade and drama. But like the truth is, like, at least Plastique got to have her moment to say something, because on the show they didn't ever make it seem like she had any idea that this shit was going on. So when she got her chance to say her shit, you better beware, okay? Alright, well, and so then we went from that real, actual drama with all the craziness to Evie versus Silky. And so at this point, like, Evie and Silky are both, like, obviously, like, the, top four. They're super huge stars. They don't give a single fuck about this drama that happened. And, so they're just talking about it, and Evie's just like, well, I just thought that, Evie was just doing her thing, and at this point, it's just such, like, a shtick for her, where I kind of didn't even think, like, after seeing the Rajah and Akira versus Plastique drama that just unfolded in front of us on this reunion, I did not necessarily have any investment in this Evie versus Silky thing anymore. It's just like this, people talking and just blabbing their mouths. It doesn't mean that it's drama, there's any substance to it. It's just this bitch is against this bitch, and that's how I felt about the Evie versus Silky thing. And obviously Evie, at this point, is looking the best out of all the top four bitches. So then after that, they bring up Scarlet Envy, and so then they throw in Scarlet here and give her a big old segment because that is what the fans have requested. The fans love Scarlet at home. Like, I'm not exactly sure which, subculture it is of the fans that love her, but they do. And I do have to say, Scarlet has had some great drag queen moments where she said some, you know, funny things or whatever. Is she the biggest standout? No, in my opinion. But I also have to say, I think Brooklyn Heights was right when she said, so Scarlet, your whole attitude has come off as a little, like, full of yourself. 100% agreed. Like, you've seen several times when she's like, not casting me, big mistake. Huge, she says. I was like, ooh, oh, so you full of yourself, bitch, huh? You know, like, I mean, there's so much to be said about, you know, like, oh, why aren't these people picking me? Why am I being seen this way? But also there is the fact that if you come off as cocky, if you come off as this or that, or, you know, just whatever, it's like people aren't going to respond to you well. And obviously that is definitely a lot about insecurity and all that shit. But so if that shit shines through more so than just your genuine, true self, then ain't nobody gonna love you at home. And so they called it out. But you know what? People did love her at home. Like, I am not going to admit that, well, I'm not going to say because I don't have nothing to admit because it's not true, but I didn't really like Scarlet that much. I will say I enjoyed her more in this reunion, seeing her kind of take the piss in some ways, you know, just kind of get it out of the way, you know, do her thing. I honestly had a better response to her this time around than I did the whole show. Okay, and so then after that segment, they got into the social media queens discussion where some of the queens that had large social media followings kind of discussed a little bit of their situation. So it went with, you know, a bit of Plastique Tiara in there because she's the first queen in Drag Race history to get 1 million followers during the original airing and not an all-star season of RuPaul's Drag Race. So that was a big deal. Soju was a big deal, and so was Ariel Versace. And you know what? They were defending themselves. They were saying, you know what, we're doing this and that and shit, but we can do all kinds of drag. But then, you know, it revolved into a little something else when Ariel decided to bring up the fact that, you know what, I still don't have my wigs, girl. And, you know, she was feeling a little dry and crusty up on her head. You know, she needed that wig back. And so, you know what, Miss Rajah, the star of the reunion episode, she pulled it out her bag, and that shady-ass bitch throws that shit on the floor like it is a rag. Oh my goodness. It's like, oh, you want this hair, bitch? Fuck you. But so yes, that was so ratchet, and oh my goodness, I do want to say, like, I feel Ariel handled that really well because she's from Jersey, like I have pointed out before, and she did not snap on that bitch for throwing her wig. She just took her wig with pride, and she proud. She stood up there and she said, you know what, I'm gonna take this wig off the floor. This was my best wig, and you know what? You know, I hope that if she's ever, you know, backstage with Rajah somewhere, that all Rajah's wigs, you know what, you see the shelf of your wigs, bitch? Throw them on the floor. This is a good episode for this fan. Okay, and so then the last little notation I had, which I'm gonna end on this heartfelt note, oh my goodness, is of course my hometown hero, Mercedes Iman Diamond. They gave her another beautiful segment about her culture and, you know, expanding both the world of drag and the world itself into a new understanding of acceptance and love. And, you know, they did a really good job of that for Mercedes once again. And, you know, all the time throughout the show, the gays are like, where's Mercedes? Why isn't she speaking up? I'm like, okay, here's two things. She's Minnesotan, so she's going to be too chill to speak up. And two, like, I mean, based on, you know, just her heritage and stuff and all the trauma she's gone through, she's not going to be, you know, loud and boisterous and all crazy and shit. Sure, she's going to be doing this drag, but she's not going to be doing all that crazy shit. But so then they did wrap her in. They did give her a beautiful moment. And, you know, Brooklyn, you know, the spokesperson for what is good in drag, she spoke up and she was like, you know what, we all think you're a beautiful person. And then they all had a beautiful applause moment for Mercedes, and it was very lovely. And, you know, I am glad they gave her a moment because, you know what, who else didn't have a moment on the show? You know, there was a couple other bitches that didn't stand out very much, but I'm glad they gave my bitch, Miss Minneapolis Queen of Africa herself, whatever she wants to call herself, Mercedes Iman Diamond, got her time to shine on this reunion episode, and that's what's important to me. Oh, and also Kahana Montrese, even though some of you shady ass bitches on Twitter was like, I don't know who she even looks like anymore. And granted, I will say Kahana Montrese no longer looks like a baby Coco. So good for you, girl. Good for you. And you know what? I stand you, bitch. I wanted to see you further on the show, you know, so all these other hating ass hoes, you still a fierce ass drag queen to me. Whew, alright, well, so anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode. This has been super crazy and super fun, and I am super excited to see this reunion episode. Which bitch is going home and which bitch is staying? I want to see, I want to know. I just need to see the winner exposed for all of us to see on the TV screen. I wish it was next week already. I wish, you know, shoot, I just want to see this right now. But so anyways, I can't. I need to go to bed and all that shit. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much.